Modern Warfare 2. My god, what a game you've been. At the time, you were considered one of the most anticipated games of all time, with people stacking up in lines just waiting to get their hands on you. And when they did, they praised the heavens that you were the most awesome FPS shooter that has ever come out to date. And in the beginning, you were. Later on, in the months to come, people start to notice what unfair crap this game is. And also, the introduction of new glitches basically ruined the game enough to be comparable to the PC version, which was hackable all itself. Now let's start off with your aspects. Your campaign. It was very intriguing, with its plot twists, its exotic locations, a lot more different from the first one, and the movie-like action sequences we've seen through most of the game. Though it was a tad short compared to the rest of the games, and actually had a few plot holes to boot. And Spec Ops, one of the highlights of your game. It cut the bullshit, it cut the dialogue, it just went straight into the action. You can do it cooperatively, and it's hard as hell and challenging, which a lot of people liked. There were basically almost little to few flaws about that mode, so I applaud you on that. And finally, and probably the most important aspect, your multiplayer. Your multiplayer that has gotten everyone commenting on this game, on why people are just screaming into their mics over what bullshit this game is. Why there are over, I don't know, 1 billion fail videos and 1 million commentaries on YouTube of why you made the multiplayer so horrid. And whenever there's a problem, there's always someone or something to blame. And this time it's Infinity Ward. So I'm going to come up with the most obvious solutions. Number one, why didn't you come up with a beta for this? So you could, avoid these glitches? Why not, I don't know, actually work well in the patches? Because in the end, what happened is that your multiplayer had collapsed on itself with you not being there at all. It collapsed on itself. Like this bridge as it's about to be crumbled. You had high hopes for this game, and yet you wouldn't follow up on it. That's half-assed. What you took away was basically dedicated servers. And this game actually would have been more, what's the word? I'm going to use the word standable. If you used dedicated servers, it would have been better for our console version, and a lot better for the PC version. Because now you probably couldn't find a legit game without anyone hacking. Your multiplayer had over-exemplified of how crap your game was. I mean, you had 2 out of 3 aspects, your campaign and Spec Ops, they were decent and great. But your multiplayer, it takes them out of proportion. It's basically like Avatar. Let me use the analogy of Avatar. Avatar had great visuals, and a lot of people actually called it one of the best movies ever based on only that fact. The story was just a ripoff of Dancing with Wolves and Pocahontas and all that other crap. It's such as this game where people call it the worst game ever for one sole purpose. It's multiplayer. Now, I'm not going to go over the specifics of really what crap there is in the literal in-game of multiplayer, because you can go on the internet right now. You're gonna find over 1 billion Modern Warfare 2 fails in, well, Modern Warfare 2. Why am I saying it? That's repetitive. And you'll see a gajillion Modern Warfare 2 commentaries, basically coming in the words of bitching. But Infinity Ward, you did leave a huge scar in the franchise of Call of Duty. And many people have been discouraged by you and the rest of the games. Even I have doubts about Black Ops, even though it's made by a totally different company, Treyarch, but even I don't trust them anymore. Especially for their craptastic campaign in World at War. But to all the people who said that MW2 was the worst game ever made, that's not true. It wasn't. It was a good game. It fell on itself though in its multiplayer because it had so many glitches. It was one of the best games of that year. And I still hold that statement dearly. It had great graphics, great story, great sound effects. It was basically, it felt like a movie. It literally did. And for those who will complain during the end game, you have the right to do so, and I would even do so myself. But just ask yourself a question. Why are you going to get into something that you know is going to suck, but you do it anyway, even knowing it's going to blow? I mean, there is really no reason to torture yourself. Unless you have friends online, that's fine, but you have to notice that even with friends online, the game can be pretty hectic still, and it's still hard to enjoy. If it's your only game, then I would suggest you play the 2 other modes. But other than that, this has been my general reflection on Modern Warfare 2 in its entirety. And I'll bid you adieu until tomorrow, September 11th, for the second video, titled Exploitation. So see you guys, and peace. Later.